people have always been criticized for lack of championships as individuals in a team sport, which brings me to my pivot. Some honors are intangible. And Damian Lillard will probably never be regular season MVP unless he leaves Portland, which doesn't seem to be the case, that he ever will. He'll never be finals MVP. But he's going to go down as an all-time great and an all-time favorite. He's already one of the greatest shooters of all time. I know Steph has that locked up, but Klay Thompson and Damian Lillard are right at that same table. It's not even like head of the table and everybody down. It's almost like Last Supper, if you want. Everybody all leaned in close to Steph Curry, or it's like a little small table in a restaurant where like we crowded around it, or we putting two tables together because Damian is not the all-time leading three-point shooter in NBA history, percentage-wise or makes, but he's as good as anybody at the three ball, specifically the long three ball. Klay Thompson just had his own performance a couple of nights ago to remind us how special he is, as if we forgot. But just to not take for granted, in an era when scoring has exploded, and Damian Lillard is the second person this season after Donovan Mitchell to have 71 points, and there have been a shit ton of 40-point games this year. But just for perspective's sake, not only was he the 8th player ever to score 70 points, Damian Lillard, last night, he did it in the way that nobody else ever has, okay? He went 13 of 22 from three. 13 of 22, second most threes in the game behind the aforementioned Klay Thompson. First player in NBA history with 70 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 10 three-pointers made in a single game. He only shot 14 free throws. He only shot 14 free throws. And last but not least, he's now the oldest player ever to put up 70 points in the game. What made you smile?
I was going to say, I was laughing. Gary, just put that chart back up with all the scoring numbers.
All the wilts up there?
Okay.
Just wilt?
All the top 11 scores, the performances in NBA history. And so
why do we go to 11?
Mike, I just want to point out.
Why do we do 11? Why didn't we go 10? Why did we go 12? Why did we go 11?
Because there's a tie. Because
I pump gas to even numbers. I put volume even numbers. That type of shit bothers me right there.
They're all at 71.
My temperature got to be 70 or 72, maybe. Can't be 11. That's weird to me.
You said.
But yeah, no, it's a hell of a lot of wilt up there.
You don't like odd numbers. You like even numbers?
Even numbers, round numbers, yeah.
Or is it okay? Well, this will help you out.
I'm not splashing. Yeah.
Okay, everybody on that list. Here's a common number: 0. In every year there wasn't no championships. Nobody won a championship that year, but that's still great. It's still greatness.
Right.
Nobody won.
Right.
Will didn't win in '62. Elgin didn't win in '60. David Robinson didn't win in '94.
It's a great observation.
So nobody. David Thompson in '78, they didn't win it.
That's a great observation.
So we can't.
Well,
it just can't. It can't be that. That can't be
Championships have never defined. Like when I argue Michael Jordan, I never bring up 6-0 ever. I never have. I never will. I mean, I
like that. You know what? I gotta admit this.
But I referenced it to make the point that I never bring that up. Yeah, right.
I do. I like that. I do. I like that you don't bring that up because that's one of the things. It's almost a conversation stopper, but not in a way that people want it to be. They think it's dropping the mic.
Right. It's not a mic drop. It's not.
It's not a mic drop.
It's overly simplistic. It's overly simplistic because he went 6-0. I'll give you Magic going 5-4. Or how many has LeBron? With 10 finals for LeBron? I mean, it's just like, come on. But the championships for me, they're a factor, but they've never been the end-all, be-all. They've never been the thing to me that makes somebody better than another. It may be a tiebreaker. It may, maybe it's a matter of preference if you want to factor in the championships, but it's never been that thing that made me say, oh yeah, he's better because he won championships. So when it comes to Damian Lillard, who let's say, look, he'll be lucky to make the play-in this year. Doesn't seem to be a guy that wants to go and chase a championship somewhere else. I'm not just saying this as some kind of a slight to the players who have, because again, and we talked about this last week while you were out, a lot of the player movement era, we created this. We created this player movement era because we forced them to define themselves with championships. Whereas, like, if you stay in one city, like whether it's Damian Lillard, I know they're two different people, but similar type situations, Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal. If anything to you beyond a championship is important, if consistency or stability is important, then something wrong with you. But Damian Lillard doesn't get that smoke, though, and that's what's fascinating about Damian Lillard. He has a certain credibility, respect, and admiration. I guess the simplest way to put it, he's just a real one. So he's going to go down in NBA history as one of your favorite players, as an all-time favorite, a beloved player. He'll be at events at All-Star Weekend like Dominique Wilkins and Reggie Miller. You know, he'll be one of those guys that it's like, unlike some other players, because, okay, I'll give you a contemporary example. I will give you a contemporary example.
Okay.
And maybe it's style of play, personality. I don't know what it is. But it doesn't seem like to me there are legacy conversations about Damian Lillard and his lack of rings in the same way that there are about Chris Paul, for example. Chris Paul not having a ring is a glaring omission and a slight to his resume, whereas I don't know that anybody sits around saying, man, Damian Lillard, he ain't got a championship. How good can he be?
Right.
It doesn't feel that way. I don't know if it's because he could rap. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's,
but it's like, bars.
But nobody seems to get. But am I lying? I mean, and I'm not reading everything on NBA Twitter. I'm not listening to everybody. So maybe I just missed it. It just doesn't seem like there's a level of criticism for him that there have been about other players on his level that have not either won a championship or left the team in search of a championship.
It's such a great point, Mike. And I know. And I have no problem with that, by the way. I have no problem with that. Yeah, right. I know Chris Paul is Players Association president, you know, I know he's got standing. So this is going to sound weird because he's got the title of president. But if we were talking about a general election, basketball out of it, and you present these candidates, like Dame could be president. He just has a way where he doesn't.
Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
It doesn't annoy people. And Chris Paul has that little gene. He's got that little a-hole gene. You know, he's got a little something. Sometimes when he walk on the court, he's looking around like he's trying to start something. He's trying to start something with somebody. Just the way he's looking. He got an edge. And Dame plays with an edge, plays with joy and dynamism and all that stuff. But he does it in a way where other players don't look at him and be like, look at this dude. Whereas Chris Paul gets that from a lot of people. And there are some fans, I'm surprised. There's some fans who look at Chris Paul and he's very polarizing. Now, I know when he was, when they were in the finals a couple years ago against the Bucks, I know you said, oh, I'd love to see Chris Paul win. I'd love to see Chris Paul get a ring. There are a lot of people who are just the opposite of you. Like, I never want to see Chris Paul win. Because it's just something about Chris Paul. And Dame Lillard doesn't have that. I haven't.
People like him. People love him.
There's nothing.
People root for him.
There's really nothing to dislike about him. And I know NBA owners look at the Trailblazers and look at Lillard and say, that's what we want. He's not moving around. He's not asking to be traded. He's there in a small market.
And there are fans and media who are also respect Damian Lillard for not following that trend. They respect him for saying, you know what, I'm going to be the bus driver here. And if the bus driver, as they call it nowadays, the new thing is bus driver. If the bus don't get to that destination, then so be it, but I'm going to drive it wherever it goes. It's like there are a lot of fans and media and old heads who do appreciate that about him. And so, listen, if he never wins one, and his chances don't look good. I just don't think we're gonna be sitting back putting an asterisk next to his career because he didn't get it. I tried to say this before about Kevin Durant. Damian Lillard has a certain, like Kevin Durant has won 2 championships and 2 Finals MVPs. I know that was Steph's team. I know the Warriors were built around Steph Curry, but Kevin Durant, takes a back seat to nobody. He rides nobody's coattails, okay? Kevin Durant has been in the conversation for best player in the league for a lot of years now. And some would say he has been the best player in the league. The world stops when Kevin Durant requests a trade. Kevin Durant is an all-time great player.
A lot of people
You know what I'm saying? But there is a respect and a credibility, not to say that Kevin Durant does not have respect. Let me make that clear. Kevin Durant has respect, but Damian Lillard has a different kind of respect than some people who have championships don't have. At least that's the way it feels. I'm strictly talking emotional. I'm not talking about aesthetics. I'm not talking about his style of play. I'm not talking about breaking down his game. I'm saying, like, I cuss a lot, but I ain't gonna cuss that hard. People F with Damian Lillard. I'll leave it at that.
Right.
People F with Damian Lillard. And last night was just an opportunity to give him his flowers once again.
And I know you said you don't think he's going to win the NBA championship. He's not going to have an opportunity to win the NBA Finals MVP.
Unless he leaves.
Do you look at the West? Do you look at the West right now? And I know we'll bring it back to Jokic, and maybe this is Natalie's point. Hey, nobody's saying that Denver is unbeatable in the West. Well, which is true, but nobody's unbeatable in the West. Do you think is there an outside chance?
Are they in the play-in right now? Like the Lakers actually overcoming 27-point deficits. Hell, the Lakers I'm pretty sure they're like a game ahead of the Lakers or something like that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Half a game ahead of the Lakers. I mean, they got to make the play-in first before they can make the playoffs, and then start talking about beating people who are unbeatable.
Hey,
so
but look at this grouping here. They're only 2 games out of the 6th spot. 2 games out.
That's true. That math is mathing. You're right. That is true. So yeah, if they get in there, I guess they can maybe make some noise. I don't know. Whatever Dame does is gravy at this point. You know, he wins the championship in Portland. That'd be one of the greatest stories in recent NBA history. But if he doesn't, it's not going to be held over his head. It just won't. Which I'm good with.
He needs somebody like Kang to say, time, I can give you that.
What are you going to do when you go back? Win.
Win.
He killed that. Jonathan Majors is that dude.
That's my dude. That is my dude. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.